Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Richie, do our opening.
Dude,
What is our opening?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drink Jokes and Storytelling. I'm your host, Mark Rick, and as always,
Richie Byrne. I thought there was a song and I forgot about it.
This is a special edition of Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling.
Thank you.
We got cups here. We're going to bust out some wine and enjoy this. So Richie Byrne and Mark Riccadonna from Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling are here with us on this Saturday afternoon. Please let us know your comments and all that stuff.
I don't even know how I got here. 20 minutes ago, I was smoking a cigar on my back porch, looking at my fish, and all of a sudden I'm here.
You don't smoke cigars even on...
I shouldn't.
By yourself?
I'm trying not to. I quit for a long time because I'm singing again, so I can't. Yeah. So I'm doing a play. He knows about it.
So you do musicals and stuff?
Yeah, I have a degree in musical theater. I have a degree in, it's considered speech and theater, but we were in musical theater at college. We did. So that was my goal. My goal was to be on Broadway.
Really?
Yeah. And
now he plays Broadway Comedy Club.
And now, but when I was younger, I realized I had a leading man voice, but not a leading man look. And people were always like, "You should try comedy. You're funny. You should try comedy." So. But for the first 5 years after college, I was just doing theater. I was doing, summer stock and touring and shows and things like that. And
so that's what you sing mostly is like kind of show tunes type of stuff?
Yeah,
He's great with classic rock.
And then, but yeah, and
really?
then I sang in a few bands. I'm in a few bands. I was in a few bands. And so, yeah, that was my background, was totally acting and singing. And
that's why we get along so well, because we both got in the comedy more or less on accident.
And the funny thing about him is he's totally into the directing and the editing, all that crap. And I'm not. I know nothing about, so like it's kind of cool that we have that yin and yang.
Yeah, yin and yang.
And I mean, he's a great actor too, but this guy's an amazing director.
Oh, thank you.
No, you are. And I'm not, and I haven't
even
even had the wine yet, so.
Yeah, let's go with what are we drinking?
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Gemini
so
wine?
Gemini, our good buddy.
Oh, this is Gemini juice.
Very
so we may turn into pigeons.
Hey, pigeon. Hey, pigeon.
Uppy.
So you guys, you two have been partners in the Drinks Jokes show for a while.
Yeah.
What did you guys, tell me a little bit about like when you guys met and how'd you guys hit it off and become fast friends?
Well, here's what's funny. It was somewhere in the early 2000s.
I always think he's older than he is because, well, look at him. but we met, and you might even been working in the kitchen or something.
I was the doorman at Stand Up New York.
Stand Up New York, and I don't remember us meeting, but it was like Riccadonna was just always around. Like in my mind, I started comedy like 1990.
Right.
And in my mind, Riccadonna was an established act in 1990. Turns out it was 2.
In 1990, I would have been like 9, 10 years old.
Yeah, in my mind, he was there. Like, people go, there used to be a club on 14th Street called the Eagle Tavern. And it was the coolest.
Ran it, right?
Tim Davis.
Tim Davis.
And it was the coolest idea for open micers because they had a front bar, but then they had a back room. And on Tuesdays, you would go in and you'd sign up, and literally 100 people would be at that open mic. And so, like, guys were going in, like, guys were stopping from work to sign in at, like, 2 in the afternoon, or because you didn't want to be, so if you could get in early, you got in early to sign your name. And what Tim Davis did, so on Tuesdays was open mic, and then on Thursdays was, he would go up to maybe 5 comics, go, Thursday, November 12th is your day. So what you do is you have to bring an audience. And you have to bring, let's say 10 people. I don't remember.
Right, yeah.
You get 5 minutes. For every person you bring over 10, you get another minute. That was like, and it was a cool thing.
That is cool, yeah.
So I brought 60 people my first time. And I was like, I don't have that much time. You know what I mean?
Were you allowed to
do a whole hour?
Could you bank it and go like, look, I brought 60 people this time.
No.
I only want 10 minutes.
No, you only got what you got. But what he would do is, so say 5 of us brought 20 people each. That's 100 people. That's a cool show. But then he would go up to other guys who he felt had been showing up and getting established. He'd go, you could come in that night and perform, and you don't have to bring people. So it was a great way to get in front of people you didn't know and not be in front of open micers and actually do your act. And in my mind, and a lot of great, J.R. Havlin was there. Jim Florentine was there all the time. I'm trying to think who a lot of people. Greg.
Geraldo too.
And in my mind, Mark Riccadonna was there.
He was one of them.
But he wasn't.
Hey, guys. Well, the thing was because
why is there a 9-year-old drinking a beer and doing shots?
With a gray beard. But the thing was because I was a door guy, I was friends with all the comics. And it wasn't like I was a young comic trying to be friends with them. I was their buddy. I would go out with him after the shows.
Yeah, so you'd go to Stand Up New York and he'd be there.
Yeah.
And so people thought I was way further along than I was when I started doing comedy. Like, I remember the first time I played on the road with Geraldo, a lot of the places we'd go, Greg was like, oh, this young guy, he's great. He's a killer. He's whatever. And I was only doing like 15 minutes and then bring him up. He was doing an hour. And so the guys would tell me, like, why don't you come back? We'll book you. You know, you can come back and headline. And I'm like, I have 15 minutes. But I didn't tell them that.
Yeah.
I would just go, yeah. If my schedule clears up, I'll send you an email. And I would send out emails to bookers with no dates, like, that I was available. But just like, hey, just letting you know things are going good, blah, blah, blah. And I would never put out dates. So they would never book me, but they all knew who I was. And then years later, when I was ready to do it, I'd send out dates, and then they're like, yeah, it's about time you played our club.
So you kind of got fast-tracked in because of your connections, because you started making friends with everybody at Stand Up New York?
Yeah. And there's nobody in the business who has more friends. It's unbelievable. Oh, my God.
But, I mean, the thing was I genuinely loved hanging out with the comics. And then when I decided to finally actually do comedy, because I got talked into it, I wanted to do it, but I was too scared to, put myself out there. So then when they finally they were, come on, just go up. So, okay.
So when you were working at Stand Up New York, you weren't doing comedy yet? You just did it just for a job?
Yeah, it was just the door. I needed to pay my rent.
Wow, damn.
I was auditioning for acting work.
Right, he would American Academy.
Oh, you want to be an actor, right?
So it was like, it was a perfect job because I worked at night, so I could audition in the daytime. And then what would be weird was hanging around with all these people. They knew casting directors, they knew whatever. And I was listening to comedy while I was working. I was like, this is the best job ever.
Yeah, man.
And then it's like being a drug addict, man. I was selling the drugs for a while. Then I got high on my own supply. I'm like, no, I got to do this shit.
And he did comedy. But it was funny because I knew him, but we weren't best friends or anything. And then
we always got along.
Yeah, and about 10 years, not even 10, no, 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, Vinny Nardiello wrote a play called The Boom, and he did it at a theater festival in New York, and Mark directed it, and I was in it. And we had known each other forever, but
that's when you started the bond. And
that's when we
friendship.
became like besties.
Yeah,
it was like we got to do more shit together.
Yeah. And then I met a manager who was managing him. I'm not gonna say his name. And and he said, I got Riccadonna. And you got Riccadonna? I said, I'll sign on with you. And we did that for a while, and then we ended up breaking up with that guy.
Right.
And we still stayed friends, and we've been, and working together. And I mean, we did it. I'm very proud of the work we did during the pandemic.
Dude, we did a lot.
I mean, a lot of my friends will say, dude, that was amazing what you and Mark were doing, because we worked our asses off, and we didn't just sit. And that was him. That wasn't me.
Nah.
No, that was totally him. During the pandemic, if if I had just gotten on the couch and went, oh, my career's over, that would have happened. But he
Right,
kept
right.
calling me every day. All right, we're doing another show today. We're doing another show today. All right. And the next thing you knew, we had this thing going on with drinks, jokes, and storytelling that was just
Dude.
really great. And then we were doing the telethons.
Yeah.
That was
That
crazy.
was fun.
We did what did we do, 60 hours or something? We did a 4-day weekend where we even did a show from here where
Yeah.
we weren't here, but they did the
Oh yeah, it was
midnight show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's his face?
Like
just
the
talking about-
comics. Downey was.
Yeah,
Downey.
Kevin Downey. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
was
was so
good.
fun. Big
And-
Gay Nick was on.
Big Gay Nick came on. Yeah. Big Gay Nick.
But yeah, when the pandemic hit, I don't know if you guys were doing the show before then or not,
Yeah.
the Drinks, Jokes,
Yeah.
and Storytellers. But I remember, watching it. I remember the first episode I ever saw it, and it won me over. You had Richie Minarivi on there.
Oh,
And he was telling some
Great-
great stories
great
about
storyteller.
Long Island, about Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy, about the manager
Yeah.
thing, and I was just like after it was over, I'm like, I got to watch more of these guys, and I started watching because I
thank
love,
you.
yeah, you guys have a great chemistry, and then what you get because you know the comics and you know comedy so well. What you get out of the guest is gold. I mean,
Yeah.
nearly every single interview is like really good.
You know what got me with that? He contacted, especially during the telethons, he contacted a lot of younger guys who are really higher up now, and they would all come on and they'd be like, Richie Byrne, remember I worked with you, I opened for you, and that blew my mind that these guys were like, and you were so nice, and I remember we had fun, and half the time I'm like, no, I don't remember at all, and I didn't want to tell them, I'm like, yeah, dude, but meanwhile, and I thought that was so cool that I hate to say this, but it made me feel like, hey, if you're
Matters.
respected in the business, that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
You
Right,
know?
yeah.
And these guys remembered me in a good way. They
Right,
weren't
right.
walking around going, what an asshole.
You,
he is."
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
even if it's not one of these where people would like gush over, like how they do, like with Dangerfield or whatever.
Right.
Like you're an influencer to a lot of these
In some
young
way,
comics
yeah.
who are like, I remember working with you and going like, oh my god, this is cool. This guy makes a good living. He's a good person. He's funny. He's, and like I think I could really actually do this. Because I think from an outsider's standpoint, people think you're Dave Chappelle or you're doing
you're
an
not.
open mic.
Right,
Right.
yeah, right, yeah.
It's exactly. The other problem, I don't mean to interrupt you, is
No.
when people go to an open mic and think they went to a comedy club.
Right, yeah,
When
yeah.
someone's running a show that's a bad show.
Yeah.
And there's none of them out here in Long Island. But, and people will tell me, I went to a comedy show, it sucked. I'm like, if you go to a bad movie, do you never go to a movie again?
Right,
You went
yeah.
to the wrong show.
Right.
And
it's a good point about the open mic level stuff. If you go into an open mic level and you're going to judge that, man, I mean.
Right. Even past open, there are comics where you're like, will you stop? Please
Dude,
stop
all you have to
booking
do is
shows.
Go on Facebook.
Please stop calling your friends and paying them nothing to show up and then charging $20 at the door. And people show up and go, wow, if you're not famous, you must really suck at comedy.
Right,
There's no
yeah,
in between.
If you're slightly funny, you'll be the next Chappelle because what we saw.
And that's what I think, too, is a lot of young comics, like brand new guys, is that they want to be Chappelle, Bill Burr overnight.
Yeah.
And
I
they come
like
out
the journey.
raw and rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the journey's the best
Yeah,
part.
the journey's
This
cool.
is, to me, like, the fun part. Yeah, of course I'd love to be rich. Are you kidding? I would love that. But, like, I enjoy doing the small clubs and doing a big club and then doing the... There is part of me that gets a satisfaction out of it. I love that my 20s was spent on the road. I barely lived in my apartment in my 20s and early 30s. I was always on the road. I love it. It's like a Townes Van Zandt song, Like we were just like out on the country trying to.
Yeah, back in the
develop
90s,
a
that was
thing.
my life, and it was pretty cool. I
It's
don't
really
want it
great.
anymore.
Yeah, I'm getting
Ooh.
too old where it's not as fun.
Ugh.
And I want to.
I'll tell you a funny Bill Burr story. When he first started, my manager was managing him. This a while ago, and my manager pretty much was like, "Hey, I got this young guy. Not that, and he's not that much younger than me, but it's funny in this business how that happens." Like,
Right.
and they were like, he said, "Can take him out. I'm going to start booking you guys together. Show him the ropes." Blah, blah, blah. And the night, I loved Billy. He was a great guy. I loved him, and you could see how good he was.
Yeah.
And within 6 months, he started getting colleges. This is probably in 96, 90, around there. And my manager dumped me because he was too busy working with Bill. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. I helped the guy.
I brought the guy in.
And about 8 months later, Bill fired that manager. And I saw him somewhere. He's so funny. He comes up and he goes, how long were you with the man? And I go, like 2.5 years. He goes, I heard that he didn't have time for you once I started getting colleges. And I go, yeah. He goes, and he dumped you. I go, yeah. He goes, you're welcome.
I just saved it.
Yeah. And he was right, because I'm ridiculously loyal, so I would have stayed with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, which is always a mistake. That's if I could give anybody any kind of advice, that would be do not. They work for you, and you never. It's hard to put that in your head.
Oh, because you're always worried.
With a young comic who's on the rise, how do they go about finding a manager anyway? And
it's
finding
a different time.
Yeah,
I mean, it used to be, wow, you're funny.
Right.
I think
Now how many followers?
How many followers? Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you're funny.
Did you see?
Did you sit in your basement
Nope.
for 2 years and figure this thing out? Okay, good. Then you can headline. I'm not being bitter. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
That's the future of comedy now. There's no more, hey, you got to sit in some dinky club listening to some bad comics and trying to figure out what you're doing. You don't even have to have a voice anymore. Just you can sell a house. That's all we care about. Sell the house.
But and I agree that's how it is, unfortunately, now. But I think that sooner or later, audiences are going to want real comics who, like you said, the journey.
You think?
You got to go through that journey to get to the good stuff.
We live in a world now, though, where people accept crap.
Yeah.
It's
I
weird.
mean, you look at some of it's the dumbing down of this country in so many ways.
And the TikTok and IG videos are dumbing down the viewers.
And they don't want to sit for 45 minutes and watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want
the other
quick.
Well, and
60
not
seconds.
even forget comedy. Let's talk movies. You can't tell a story anymore.
No.
Good cinema, you have to really go to independent film house, which are hard to find, and if you want to watch a beautiful story unfold, because now it used to be because MTV they change camera angles every 30 seconds.
Every 2 seconds.
But now because of this, and you just no dumb video. Now it's every 5 seconds. You better switch cameras. You better be moving. There better be something big happening. You can't let things cook. And even you look at the movies that are in the theaters now, they're all superhero, Marvel movies where you get nauseous just watching it because it's like, well, you have to keep the camera moving and big punches, and the guy has to have 80,000 muscles, and it needs to have this, and it's like,
there's no cool movies anymore.
I think
it's
the
like
best stories.
meth heads took over
Hollywood.
It's like you have to be a meth head. Everything's I can't, and you can't just sit and concentrate and watch something unfold in front of you, and maybe you think for a minute. Like they don't allow that anymore. Now it has to be bam, 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 and everybody's saying get on TikTok, get on IG, and I refuse to do it because I don't want to join the thing that's ruining what I do. Eventually, we're going to come back. Eventually, people are going to want storytelling.
I'll be dead.
They're going to want theater. They're going to want movies that unfold in front of you that are a gourmet meal instead of fast food.
I hope you're right.
I think people are going to want it again.
I hope so.
I think they get in the stories, the deeper stuff now from binge watching, like
TV.
Like Hulu shows or like
It used to be TV was like rapid punch them. You got 22 minutes.
Right.
Get them in and out. Now all the best stuff is on streaming on television.
Yeah, you got to watch binge watch hours, and so it's weird how they don't have the attention span for a 2-hour movie, right? But they'll
40-hour.
But they'll binge like 8 hours.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Yeah, you're right. They'll sit there for 8 hours.
But
and
it
get
completely
through.
flipped, and it's like, and even like
it's like reading a Patterson book though. Like the chapters are small and quick, and this large font, so it's like, hey, I'm getting through. So maybe that's what it is because each one ends, so they'll watch
like
more. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like where it's going, but I'm not going to change my art to fit what they want. It's like when I started doing comedy, everybody was trying to be Dane Cook and Dave Attell, and you saw everybody was doing a cardboard cutout of each of them. But now it's like,
yeah.
I never fell for it and went into that world because I was like, no, I can only do what I do, and I'm going to stick to it. And I don't care. I'm going to have lean times, but I'm sticking to storytelling. Long form. I like movies. I like letting things unfold. I like stand-up. I like theater. I don't like watching a 3-second video and switching to it.
From someone who has absolutely no talent. Because, and
Right.
I don't mean it in the sense that they weren't born with a talent. They weren't able to make the talent. It takes years to
Right.
really, no
Develop.
matter who you are, it takes years in anything, comedy, acting. You don't just
Be a
wake
doctor.
up one day and you're, it's 10,000 hours, right? Whatever
Yep.
it is.
Right,
And,
yeah, it's 10,000.
now you're on this TikTok and you've done nothing but jump on a trampoline and suddenly you're selling out, arenas.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get it.
And I'm fine. They can make that money, but I'm not going to change what I do.
Right. No, I hear you.
try
Well,
to be
I mean,
there.
and I think that's where we are because people, since the pandemic, I keep telling people, I feel like I'm 22 again in the sense that I'm out doing movies for, small amounts of money. And
Right.
and we're back in the day, I was doing theater for small amounts of money. And I'm involved with an original play right now called Newport that 2 friends of mine wrote that's brilliant. It's a wonderful musical. And we're doing it in small areas, small venues around New York, around the tri-state area. And I'm really excited about that because it's still a work in progress. We're still changing things. And if it ever went anywhere, I doubt I'd play the part that I'm playing because I'm not right for it. I'm singing the hell out of it, but I don't look the part. So, but I don't even care about that. I care about the work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And what we did, I mean, we made Frank's movie. We had so much fun
Yeah,
doing
it was
that.
awesome. Yeah,
And,
Double Eagle.
what you're doing with your movie and
Yeah.
everything, I think
Which
that's
is coming. We should
Yeah,
plug
Comic
that.
when
Sans.
is that?
Comic Sans is this Wednesday. Yeah.
I'm doing a Keegan gig.
Yeah, so I
In
guess Keegan
Levittown.
won't be there. Yeah, so it's at in Belmore.
Wait a minute. This coming Wednesday?
Yeah. This Wednesday coming up. It's the 16th.
Well, you're the star of your movie's in that show with me. Haft is in the show with me. Does he know this?
Yeah, I think he's arranged it, so he's going on first or so, and he's gonna rush over to us.
You see, I gotta do everything because some young
Accommodate.
kid named Eric Haft, some young kid with the
Eric
brain
Haft?
funk.
Eric Heft was great in it, man.
Well, you know what I'll do? I'm sure we probably do this anyway. We'll meet up with you guys afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love that.
Yeah, for sure. We're right in Belmore. The Belmore
What
Theater.
time?
It starts at 7:30 to 9:30.
Okay.
The movie's gonna air around. We're gonna run it around 8:00.
Okay, because Haft will probably be done. I think we're at 8. No, maybe we're at 7. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
sure Eric knows. I'm sure he'll.
I
figure
think
it
he
out.
worked it out. I hope. He said he was working.
It'll
on
probably
it.
him, Keegan, me.
Yeah, and then he's gonna get to us because we're gonna have a Q&A afterwards. Joey Cola's gonna be there. He's in the movie.
Who's that?
Never heard of it.
This new up and coming guy. Carl. What's her name? Why can't I think? I'm blanking here. I was gonna say Carla.
You were gonna say
but-
Carla.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
she's actually hosting the show
Yeah.
on Wednesday for us.
Carrie Karavitz
Oh, Carrie.
is also in the movie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So she.
I wish I could get there to see the movie, but I definitely want to meet up with you guys afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Do you have like a party anywhere after? Or are you gonna stay at the theater?
I'm
I don't
not
care.
sure.
I live right down the street.
We're
from
probably
The theater.
we don't have anything set. We're just gonna kind of, if
All right,
we're
man.
open to ideas.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be
great.
cool. I am a little nervous.
How long is the movie?
It's 30 minutes.
Okay.
So it's a short film. It's also potentially a pilot episode for a potential series is what we like to do with
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, or if we get the funding to finish it into a feature film.
Okay.
So that's kind of the goals for it right now. But it's a cool film, And when I first sent the script to Joey Cola, he's like, "Is this about my life?" I was like, "No," but he's like, "That's a lot of parallels."
No.
It's
Let me tell you a story about Joey Cola. That I used to have a variety show in the city. I did the Richie Byrne show, and I always had a comedy guest, and we did sketches. And Cola was my first guest. He was also my most. We had him back like 4 times.
Yeah, he's
I love
awesome.
Joey.
Yeah,
You
he's
know I
great.
do. But that man refused to learn his lines. He would say, and I quote, bullet points, bullet point. I'm like, no, not bullet points. Learn your lines. Now, did you have that problem with him?
No, he did ask me beforehand if he could improvise a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
So I said,
because he doesn't want to learn his
The
lines.
greatest thing that ever happened to somebody like Joey Cola is Curb Your Enthusiasm
Yes.
became popular, and they're like, "It's improv,
It's improv.
Yeah.
Bullet points.
Yeah.
He used to say
I don't need to learn."
But he was great, and he plays my manager, and that oddly enough, we talk about managers, and yeah, it's great. So basically, my character is this comic who's been in the industry for 20-something years, and he's still kind of in the same club he started it.
Class.
Yeah, but he's still in the same club he started in, and he has his own night, like on Wednesday night, All-Star night or whatever, and all this stuff. And now comes kind of like the Kevin James type of guy is coming back to town. Local guy, local hero, becomes superstar, and that's Eric Half plays Big Mac Reynolds.
Big Mac.
So Big Mac comes to town, and he has a show called Mac to Life, which is like this huge sitcom, kind of like King of Queens or something like that. And my character helped groom him when he was young. And so
he groomed him in the sexual way.
So I'm like, dude, you owe me. I want to get on your sitcom. It's a hit. Let me get on. How can you pass me over? His sitcom's already going on like 6 seasons. So he's like, how come I'm not on the show yet? Am I not funny? So
Everybody else got on it.
yeah, exactly. So it's that kind of dynamic. And then, throughout the thing, we start to see other comics already getting opportunities that he's not privy to now that he's older. So it's this whole kind of thing. And I think it's got some real legs, some juice. So I want to see if I can continue it on.
And I don't want to give away anything, but does he give you a reason why is there a jealousy? Did you screw him over? Or is
No,
there any of that in there, or
he gives him an answer.
okay,
but it's not nothing along those lines. Mm-hmm. But I think the ending.
I really love the ending.
Yeah, I think it gets.
It reminds me a lot of Extras. Do you ever watch Extras with Ricky Gervais?
Yeah.
It's a lot like that.
Okay, cool, man. That's great.
Yeah, so it's cool. I wanted it to be have like an arc to it where it's like a dramedy. So it's not just all boom, 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 like a slapstick or comedy, but it's got funny moments in there. Carrie Kravitz kills it.
Heartbreaking moments.
Yeah, there's some kind of like that kind of stuff.
It's very. Sometimes you don't want what you wish for.
Well, you were great to work with on Double Nickels.
Oh, right back at you, man.
You really were, dude.
Yeah.
When he had to deal with some crap, and he had to run out and be producer on top of director.
Right.
And when he got back and he's like, all right, we have to shoot. I go, no, Don already took care of it. He's like, what? That was me falling down.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
It was Christy throwing me to the ground and all. But I remember it was funny because we shoot it. He wanted to run it like a rehearsal. And I did the whole thing where I hit my head and I go down and he turns to the camera girl and he goes, you were running that, right? Because it came out so well. Please tell me you were going. Please tell me the camera was on. And I'm like, thank God, because I don't want to. We still did 11 more takes. Right?
Yeah, we did a bunch of them. Yeah, you had to come out. You got your got beat up a little bit, thrown around. That was awesome, man. You were great.
Thank you.
You were even in the edits and everything like that. You just kind of, and I mean this in a positive way. Scene stealing, you were just like amazing, very good, very strong,
thanks.
very strong.
Thanks.
Oh man, I had
It was
so
all
much
bullet points.
bullet points.
Bullet points.
And you had that Irish accent, which is tough to hold on to that.
And now
Yeah,
he's
that was
shooting
tough.
something this week with us where he's going to have a
I to have
Scottish.
accent. I'm like, will you give me a role where I don't have to do an accent?
Yeah.
To Long Island next.
Yeah.
Long Island.
Please. That's Staten Island. That's where I grew up. It'd be real easy.
Nice.
It's funny because my friend, a buddy of mine's from Ireland. So I literally sat down and recorded him reading all my lines.
So you get the sound.
And at one point he goes, well, why don't I just play the role? I'm like, shut up. Shut up and read this.
Because you're not good looking enough.
No, that's the problem too. He is. And then yesterday I go, you any good at a Scottish accent? He goes, turn on the recorder.
That's awesome, man.
Call Briscoe though. He
I will.
Because
it is Scottish I've never done before. It's
and
hard.
they're all over the place.
The good thing about what we're shooting, though, is it's really over the top.
Yeah.
So I can almost get away. I mean, he's really like, Schooner, and and all that. I'm like, all right, I can really go crazy.
Yeah, you can Mike Myers it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's
Matter
a good
of fact,
way.
I'm going to try and watch that movie before Tuesday when we shoot.
Good
But dude, what fun! And one of my regrets, was when there were times in the '90s where they were always in backstage. You could do backstage as a paper where they had they'd have auditions. And for those of you who don't know, and I'd always look at backstage for theater, but there were always college films, and I used to go, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to audition for that. And and you know who did a lot? And Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
And you could see how it really helped him when he started getting big, because he'd already been in front of a camera a lot. He already, and it's a whole different beast. And I kind of regret that. And I'm doing it now.
Right, yeah.
And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did 12 years on the Dr. Oz show as a warm-up. And I think I got about 15 years ago, I started going out for TV and commercial more. And he knows I got Sex in the City, small parts, Sopranos,
Right.
Law and Order. And I walk on those sets and go, I have no idea what I'm doing. And was scared to death,
Yeah.
and really didn't know what I was doing. So it's kind of cool. I did 12 years with Oz, so you get used to cameras and mics and all that.
Right, all the big
Even
production.
though I'm not on camera, I'm there, and I have to watch for what's happening. And then now doing this stuff with you guys, like I feel so much more. I'm like, wow, I should have done this when I was in my 20s and 30s,
Yeah.
But I'm doing it now, and I'm having a ball. So
Yeah,
who
man.
cares?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
awesome. Yeah, because it is like similar to any art form, I guess, but like we talk about stand-up being open micers, it is good when you're acting to be on that smaller scale and kind of evolve your way up, because like you said, you start to learn the nuances and like all the way they talk, certain like lingo, language and stuff like that. that you
Like
might,
B-roll.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't know what B-roll was, and stuff, and I didn't want to tell anyone I didn't know what B-roll was.
Well, that's like so I have shorthand with a lot of the crew guys that I work with. Like we'll have shorthand, and I'll say something, and then actors who do then know some of the lingo and stuff, they'll like try to talk to me, or talk like, well, shouldn't you do this? And I'm like, yeah, I already did that. Like
Right.
sometimes it's dangerous when an actor knows too much, because then they think they're helping, and it's
Yeah.
like, dude,
Well, when I was doing my variety show, that was a tough thing because we wrote original scripts, and
and they're comedy sketches.
they're comedy sketches, and now you get it on its feet, and things aren't working the way you thought they would. And suddenly you got some actor, and you're trying to fix it, and you got some actor going, what if I said this? What if I... I'm like,
yeah,
you
right.
weren't in the room when...
Yeah,
You know how many
Right.
hours went in? Just sit there and let me finish this, and I'll
That's
get
the
back
worst,
to you.
is an actor who tries to direct.
Yeah.
And, like
man.
tell the director. There's a comedian. I won't say his name because I really like him, but every single time I do something, he just starts like, "Well, when are we going to shoot the medium on the?"
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, why don't you just stay in your lane?
don't
worry
about it.
Fucking learn the role,
Yeah.
and then
That's an important thing for anybody in this business to know is you're not impressing anybody by telling them you know what they can do.
right, yeah, exactly.
Whatever you're booked to do, I have, I've been in theater, I've been in comedy, I've been in television, I've been in film, I've done warm up forever.
yeah.
And whatever I'm doing, that's what I'm doing.
Right, yeah.
You know,
That's it.
You stay in your own
Yeah.
lane.
You know what
yeah.
the director doesn't want? The warm-up guy telling him how he should
Right.
shoot the angle.
Right.
You know,
Right.
who's the guy that was the director? You guys had such a great relationship. You two, I wanted him on the on Oz. He was like
Not the director, it was the stage manager.
Stage
It was Seth. No, not
Seth. It was Seth.
Yeah, Seth.
Like, you guys would mess with each other and have fun.
Seth
but if
Melman.
you went over to start telling Seth how to do his job,
He'd lose his mind.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of times, especially comedians that become actors or get into acting, they think that they're helping,
Right.
And like I always, and even the project that we're doing this week, like I'm hired as an actor and I wrote some of the scripts, but I'm just an actor. I'm not producing it. I'm not directing it.
Right.
I'm just acting in it now that the script's done.
Right.
I told the guy, I go, if you need me for anything like
Ask.
else, just know that I love doing it. So if you need help with stuff, I love doing this stuff. I love working on sets. So if you need something cool, if not, don't worry about it. Whatever. So then he came to me and asked about a couple roles. Do you know people that might be great for this? I got you, Patty Rossborough, a couple other guys. But I'm not like casting it. He knows I love this. I love the energy of something getting made. So if I can help, I want to help. Yeah. But I also don't want to tell him how to do something. I would say, don't hire that person. Who you should get is, like, who am I to say that? I'm just an actor.
When I'm on set as an editor or, like being an editor or director of my own, if I'm on set as an actor, I never, even if I see, maybe I'll point it out, but nicely.
If it's a potential problem.
If I see a light set up wrong or something like that, I might say something. I wouldn't say it in front of the whole production. Hey, before we say action here, that light should be. Right? I wouldn't do that. Hey, look how much knowledge. I would rather tell them along. Hey, you think that light's good there? It feels like it's or whatever the thing is.
You can see Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah.
The guy goes, "Can you move that thing? You want me to strike it?" See, I know the.
Yeah, exactly, like that kind of shit. Like I try not to ever be that guy. So a lot of times I bite my tongue, especially if I'm on like an indie film or like or something like that. I'll try not to say anything, and because you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Because you know how annoying it is when you're on the other side and that guy's telling you, hey, strike it down.
I have a feeling Haft was like that a lot.
He was good because
he yelled at the hair and makeup people. That's how you're going to comb it?
We had to stay late with him. He was not as late as we did on Double Eagle, but he.
Oh, my God.
Dude,
oh my God, Double Eagle.
Yeah, Double Eagle. Wow. We shot it all in one long day into the 24-hour cycle.
Oh,
in fact, when you drove home, it was rush hour.
And I wasn't even. It was rush hour. I got home after everybody, and I wasn't even there from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it was a hot day, and you guys had to shoot outside.
Yeah.
And
I was there.
It was rough.
I was there probably 3 hours before every single person because I had to go out and buy groceries.
Yeah,
and buy shit for the set.
Right.
And at the end of the
you
day,
took on way too much on that project, my friend.
You were again.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a 24-hour.
It won't be happening again. That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I remember.
That was just insane.
Those last few takes are a blur to me. I don't know how you got through it. You were guys, man. You powered through it. You were still acting like you were getting on the ground. Still,
I was just like the whole time. I'm like, just stay focused on the. I kept going. Don't lose this accent. Yeah.
Because we were going from.
And anytime someone needed to stop for something, I had to go into my. I was like, I'm here now.
Right.
I don't know what's going on here. I have to stay here because it was. 3 a.m, and you're going, I don't know what I'm thinking at this point.
Yeah. Another thing I give you credit for was with Christy wasn't feeling well.
Yeah,
so she's standing right up over you.
Yeah, I was like, if you throw up on me, I'm going to die.
And she actually stopped and goes,
I know. I'm like, dude, and you don't know. I'm one of those people who if you throw up, I'm throwing up.
Yeah.
So, like.
If you guys keep the cameras rolling, at least we'll get a viral video.
Yeah.
I was like, Christy, please.
Yeah.
I don't care where we are in this scene. If you think you're going to throw up, run away from me. Run.
That's what I was like,
She's right over me. I'm like, oh my, I can't.
She's
turn.
right up looking straight down, like bent over, looking right at you. You're laying there helpless, and she's like, at a leave.
I may throw up. I'm like.
And she's doing like those throw up burps. She's
going, yeah. I'm like.
And then I'm like, oh my God. I don't know if I could have done that. I give you
once
credit.
Once again, it's one of those times where I went away.
Yeah, exactly.
I went away.
But she got through it. She did not throw up. And
she looks great on the movie.
She did. She did great. Like everybody I think everybody was well cast, looks great on the thing. I think the acting was really great all around. I guess
My only problem was like, let's get a bunch of tall women and Richie.
Some people watch a movie about that. But it's a different kind of movie.
Because we
Bunch of leather-clad, tall women.
why am I blanking on her name?
Veronica?
Veronica. She played my daughter. We did a play that Vinny Nardiello wrote, and we did a reading of it in New Jersey at a theater in New Jersey that Mark directed, and we were doing it during the pandemic, so we were rehearsing online. Oh wait, no, we did it in the city. I forgot we did that theater in the city.
Oh yeah.
Because that's right when it was during the pandemic, and when we finally met in the theater to do it, and she's playing my daughter, and she's like 6'1".
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
and I never knew. Like, how would I know?
Right, on Zoom
on
all the
camera,
time.
she looks like a tiny
And she's
little,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, she's gorgeous, and she's a great actress, Veronica.
Awesome, yeah.
So,
She's
but it was just so
engaged.
funny. Yeah, I know.
I'm so happy for her. Francis is a good dude.
Yeah, he is, and he's very tall.
Yeah,
a
they're
big
going to
dude.
have
Giant
gigantic
babies.
children.
Yeah, big babies.
That's who goes to the NFL.
Yes.
Babies of people like them.
Yes, not us. But yeah, Veronica was great in that, and Christy and Lucy.
Lucy.
And Gemini. Gemini was hilarious.
He was great.
Oh, wait till you see the video.
was
He's
great.
so
I
good
love
in it.
that was my favorite part, watching you shoot the Gemini stuff, because that really wasn't scripted. It wasn't in the script at all.
Yeah.
So I didn't even, and watching Mark just let Gemini run was, and at times like you'd be like, all right, can we cut him off now? Because I don't even know what he's doing. He's like, hey. Just,
I got 2 aces.
I got 2 aces.
That's so jokey.
Jokey.
And then he grabs all the drinks.
He was so funny.
He was on. He was so.
And we're like, you can't look right at the camera because he takes this every
He
listen.
kept looking at the camera.
He was awesome though, man.
I love the guy, the old guy with the beard. Fuck you, Red.
Yeah. Yeah, that was way earlier in the night too.
Yeah.
I was still enjoying the shoot at that point.
It's funny when earlier in the night it's like midnight.
I think part of what made Christy so tired though is because she was at the beginning when we were outside, like she was on. Like she was performing for the crew and trying to,
she did too much.
it was like,
Yeah.
relax. It's a marathon.
It was hot.
That heat
it
was
hot.
deadly
and you
out
guys
there.
shot all that outside stuff, and it was hot.
It was
She
very
was
hot.
sprinting at the very beginning of the
Yeah,
day, and it was
yeah.
like, this is marathon.
Yeah.
Slow down. Because she was like cracking jokes, making the crew laugh. I had fun. It was brutal and painful, but it was also fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good
Sitting
time.
in that traffic, everyone going to work and school, and I'm trying to get home.
Felt like back in my 20s when
Yeah,
I
like-
leave the bar,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the sun's out and people are walking to work, and you're just like, ugh.
That happened to me Tuesday.
Oh, I'm such a loser.
Yeah. There is nothing worse than when you walk out of a bar and the sun is out.
There's joggers.
People are on
Yeah.
the bus stop with their suits, and you're like, wow,
Getting on with their lives.
something is really wrong with me.
It's our life. The life we chose.
All right, well, let's go eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very good, everybody. Guys want to plug anything? You got anything coming up?
Well, tonight, if you're watching live, check it out. We're at Bohemia. McGuire's at Bohemia. And I'm at the Brigada Thanksgiving till the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
cool.
So check that out. It's a good
Nice.
fun time.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
you're going to go home and do the thing.
I'm going to eat turkey and then go straight to the
Oh,
gig.
okay. Yeah, that's cool.
And then
And you're there the whole weekend?
there the whole week.
Nice.
Yeah, it was originally only like 3 nights, but they gave the whole thing. So
Great.
that's cool.
I love that room. God, I love that room.
And January 6th, I'm in Sellersville Theater. The 2 guys walk into a bar comedy show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so come check it out. I'm with our buddy Tommy Briscoe.
Yeah.
We'll be slanging some
I'm
jokes.
doing a, if you're in Mamaroneck, Emmeline Theater, I think it's called, tonight. I think there's tickets out. There's 2 shows, and I'm actually really kind of excited about this. It's Joe Matarese is a great comic and a good friend.
yeah.
He's doing he's making his own special. It's an 80s thing. He's doing a thing. He's got video, and he's got the whole thing going on. It's not just straight stand up. It's like a one-man show.
Awesome.
And I'm going to warm it up, do all the warm up. Because I think they're going to have some technical difficulties and all that crap. So,
Yeah,
Nice.
so come to that tonight.
Yeah.
Joe Matarese.
Matt Reese is
That's-
great. He did the '80s one too, the one man show where he was about growing up in the '80s.
That's what he's doing.
Oh, okay.
They're actually shooting it.
Ah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a Netflix. I'm not sure. But
Oh, good,
yeah.
man. Cool.
Yeah. I love
Awesome.
Matarese. He's a great
He's
guy.
a good dude.
You guys been to his club yet? He's got his own club upstate.
No,
right?
everyone keeps telling me about it, and I got to find out. I'm going to have to give him some crap tonight.
Yeah.
Glad I can warm up the crowd.
Yeah, I'm glad I can help you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad I'm not good enough for your club, but
Well, all right, man. This has been this is awesome.
Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
Yes.
The big premiere of Comic Sans will be there in Belmore. If anyone wants to come out and see it, just DM me, find me on Facebook, and DM me, and I'll give you the information to come on out and check out the that short film. It's going to be a lot of fun. All the cast and crew will be there, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. So we'll see how that works out.
Good luck, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
For our sign off, that's Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. Done?